The mountain's secret. The night was unnaturally quiet, the kind of silence that made even the crickets stop singing. In the far reaches of the Himalayan mountains, a team of geologists drilled deep into the rock, searching for rare minerals. But what they discovered was something far more dangerous than treasure. The ground trembled beneath their boots. Radiation sensors spiked off the charts. Dr. Hayashi, one of the young scientists, stammered, staring at the readings. This isn't natural. The radiation, it's alive. Before Hayashi could respond, the mountain let out a deep, rumbling groan, like the earth itself was awakening from a nightmare. Rocks tumbled down, alarms blared, and the entire facility shook. Then they heard it, a roar so massive it echoed through the valleys and split the night sky. Something inside the mountain was waking up. Milky Way, the call of heroes. Thousands of miles away, in New York, Nebula Man stood on a rooftop, watching the stars. His armor shimmered with faint nebula-like energy, his white eyes scanning the horizon as if searching for cosmic disturbances. Suddenly, his aura pulsed violently. He clutched his chest plate, feeling the cosmic tremor ripple through space itself. Something ancient had stirred on Earth, something that didn't belong. Solarion arrived moments later, descending like a comet. His crimson cape blazed behind him, the starburst emblem on his chest glowing brighter than usual. "You felt it too?" Solarion asked, his voice steady but urgent. Nebula Man nodded. It wasn't just an earthquake. Something alive. Something older than humanity itself, buried beneath the mountains, waiting for radiation to set it free. "Then it's awake now," Solarion said grimly. Without another word, the two heroes leapt into the night sky, two streaks of cosmic light cutting through the atmosphere, racing toward the Himalayas. Volcano, the awakening. Deep beneath the mountain, the geologists scrambled for their lives as the cavern walls split open. Red-hot cracks spread across the chamber, glowing like veins of magma. The ground rose, lifted by something unimaginably huge. The roof collapsed, revealing a colossal claw, black as obsidian, glowing with crimson fissures. Another claw followed. Then came the spines, towering crystalline shards that pulsed with alien bioluminescence. The creature's head emerged from the rubble, its four blazing eyes snapping open all at once. Its roar shook snow from the mountaintops, a bellow that sounded like molten rock grinding against steel. Alien Godzilla had awakened. The monster pulled itself free, standing taller than the peaks, its massive tail slamming against the earth like a meteor strike. Radiation poured from its body, painting the sky with a sickly green glow. Forests withered, rivers boiled, and birds dropped dead in midair. The scientists barely escaped in helicopters, watching in terror as the beast turned its head and looked at them, as if deciding whether they were worth crushing first. Shooting star, the arrival of light. Before the helicopters could be swatted out of the sky, a blinding streak of violet energy cut across the clouds. Nebula Man descended, landing on a ridge in front of the monster, his aura flaring like a living nebula. "By the stars," he muttered, staring up at the behemoth. "You're not from Earth, but you've slept here long enough to become its curse." The monster roared, the shockwave nearly knocking him back, but Nebula Man stood firm, his cape snapping in the radiation-fueled wind. Then the ground lit up in fiery silver as Solarion landed beside him, his starburst emblem blazing like a miniature sun. "We're too late to stop its awakening," Solarion said, clenching his fists. "Now we fight." Alien Godzilla bent its head low, eyes glowing with molten rage, preparing to release a breath of searing plasma. The heroes braced themselves. High-voltage first clash. The beast unleashed its attack, a torrent of alien fire and radioactive plasma that melted rock and scorched earth. Nebula Man raised his cosmic shield, violet energy forming a shimmering barrier. The blast shook the mountain, but the shield held, cracks of energy snapping like lightning. "Now!" Nebula Man shouted. Solarion leapt into the air, his crimson cape blazing like fire, and shot forward like a comet. His fist connected with the monster's jaw, creating a shockwave that rattled the valley. The beast staggered, but only for a moment. With a furious roar, it swung its colossal tail, smashing Solarion into a mountainside. Nebula Man countered, channeling cosmic energy through his armor. He hurled a radiant beam straight into the monster's chest, the light piercing through its glowing cracks. Alien Godzilla bellowed in pain, the blast knocking shards of alien crystal from its back. But instead of weakening, the cracks glowed brighter. The more they struck it, the more it fed on the radiation within itself. "Solarion," Nebula Man shouted, dodging a swipe of its claw. "It doesn't weaken, it evolves." Milky Way, the horror realized. Solarion broke free of the rubble, his aura burning brighter, but his face grim. "Then if we don't stop it now, it'll grow beyond anything we can imagine." The monster roared again, louder than thunder, its four eyes glowing with apocalyptic fury. Snow slid from mountainsides, avalanches thundered, and the earth split beneath their feet. The battle had only just begun, but already the planet trembled under the weight of the awakening. As the dust and smoke filled the valley, one truth burned in the hearts of both Nebula Man and Solarion. If Alien Godzilla wasn't stopped here tonight, Earth's age of humanity would end, and a new reign of monsters would begin. Clash of Titans. The mountain was no longer a mountain. It had become a throne of chaos. Alien Godzilla's colossal body towered above the broken peaks, molten light seeping from the cracks in its armor-like hide. Its roar thundered across valleys, reaching villages hundreds of miles away. People awoke in terror, not knowing that a nightmare older than civilization itself had returned. Milky Way heroes under pressure. Nebula Man floated above the battlefield, violet aura swirling around him, scanning the creature with cosmic vision. He could see the radiation pouring from its core, spreading like poison into Earth's atmosphere. "It's not just a monster," he muttered. "It's a walking reactor. If we fail here, humanity will suffocate under its shadow." Solarion emerged from the rubble, cape torn but his starburst emblem glowing brighter than ever. His fists clenched, streams of radiant energy pulsing from his silver veins. "You're right," Solarion said. "But if this thing feeds on our attacks, we'll have to change tactics." Alien Godzilla turned toward them, its four glowing eyes narrowing. The air shimmered with heat as it inhaled, chest expanding like a furnace. Then it unleashed another wave of alien plasma fire. "Move!" Nebula Man shouted. The two heroes split, streaking across the sky. The plasma beam cut through the valley, vaporizing entire forests, melting rivers into steam. Villages miles away trembled as shockwaves shattered glass and toppled walls. High voltage, the first counterattack. Solarion shot high into the atmosphere, gathering cosmic energy from the sun's reflection across the stratosphere. His body became a streak of silver and crimson. He dove, fists blazing, and slammed into the monster's shoulder. A sonic boom cracked the sky as Alien Godzilla staggered sideways, one crystalline spine shattering from the impact. Nebula Man followed with a precise strike. He summoned a cosmic vortex, wrapping glowing chains of nebula energy around the creature's arm. The giant thrashed, roaring in fury, but for a moment it was restrained. "This is our chance," Nebula Man yelled. Solarion charged his chest emblem, a brilliant sphere of stellar fire forming. He fired a solar beam into the creature's torso. The blast was so bright it lit up the night sky like a second sunrise. For a moment, the monster screeched in pain. Whole chunks of molten armor fell away, exposing raw alien flesh glowing like magma. But then the unthinkable happened. Dragon the mutation. The wounds didn't weaken it. They healed, faster than either hero could comprehend. The creature's body absorbed the cosmic energy, its scales glowing brighter, its spines pulsing like living reactors. Alien Godzilla lifted its massive head and roared, this time not in anger, but in triumph. The blast they had delivered had only made it stronger. Nebula Man's aura flickered with disbelief. "No, it's adapting. Every time we strike, it learns. It evolves. Before they could regroup, the monster swung its tail like a meteor. The spiked blade slammed into the mountain ridge. The impact created a shockwave so massive it sent Nebula Man crashing into the ground and hurled Solarion through the clouds. Entire villages below crumbled as the earth split apart, avalanches swallowing valleys whole. Milky Way humanity's fear. Down below, survivors of the nearby towns fled in panic. Helicopters from the Indian Air Force circled the beast, unleashing missiles. But the explosions were like raindrops against the Titan. Alien Godzilla swatted them from the sky with one sweep of its claw, their wreckage spiraling into fireballs across the mountainside. Soldiers on the ground stared in horror. How do you fight something that the earth itself seems to obey? One whispered as the monster's foot crushed a valley beneath molten weight. For the first time in generations, humanity realized they were not the apex of Earth. High voltage regrouping. Solarion reappeared, body bruised but aura blazing hotter than before. He hovered beside Nebula Man, who was pulling himself free from the rubble, his violet energy shield flickering. "We're not winning," Solarion said grimly. "Every strike fuels it. Every blast we deliver makes it stronger." Nebula Man's eyes glowed as he analyzed the creature. Not stronger everywhere. Look closer. Its chest core, where the radiation is densest, that's the source. That's where it's vulnerable. Solarion's fist ignited. Then we don't need to defeat the monster. We need to destroy the heart that feeds it. The two heroes locked eyes, a silent agreement sparking between them. They knew the cost. If they pushed too hard, if they unleashed their full powers, the mountain itself might collapse, and a fallout could devastate half the continent. But there was no other way. Dragon, the monster, advances. Alien Godzilla lumbered forward, every step cracking the earth like an earthquake. Its roar split the sky, and its spines lit up with nuclear fire. The air warped around it, the atmosphere itself bending under the sheer radiation. It was coming not just for them, but for Earth itself. Solarion's aura flared, a crimson sun igniting in his chest. Nebula Man's cape whipped in the storm of cosmic winds, his hands glowing with galaxy-forged energy. Side by side, they rose into the sky again, two beacons of cosmic light against a shadow of unstoppable terror. Strike at the heart. The Himalayas burned. Valleys that had been green with forests now smoldered with fire and ash. Alien Godzilla moved like a living apocalypse, each footstep leaving rivers of molten stone behind. Cities across Asia went dark as governments scrambled to respond. News broadcasts filled every screen. An unidentified creature has awakened in the Himalayas. Panic spread faster than the flames. Milky Way humanity's defiance. In Delhi, command centers lit up with military urgency. Generals barked orders while satellite feeds displayed the towering silhouette of the alien beast. "Conventional weapons are useless," one general growled. "Missiles barely scratch it. Artillery just fuels its growth." "But we can't just stand by," another snapped. "If it keeps moving west, millions will die." The order was given. Jets roared into the sky, carrying payloads designed to destroy bunkers, not monsters. Meanwhile, on the ground, civilians flooded highways, fleeing their homes. Parents clutched children, staring into the smoky horizon where a faint glow rose like the dawn of a second sun. The glow of Alien Godzilla's spines charging for another catastrophic blast. High voltage, the cosmic plan. High above the devastation, Nebula Man hovered, bruised but resolute. His glowing eyes scanned the monster's energy flows. "There," he muttered to Solarion, pointing to the creature's chest. "The radiation core. It's like a living star burning inside its ribcage. If we can pierce it, we end this," Solarion finished, aura blazing. They both knew what it meant. Attacking the core would unleash unimaginable power, a chain reaction that could either kill the beast or detonate like a supernova. "Do we risk it?" Solarion asked, voice heavy. Nebula Man's jaw tightened. "If we don't, there won't be an Earth left to risk. Dragon, the monster strikes first." Alien Godzilla reared back, its four eyes burning with apocalyptic fury. Its spines glowed bright crimson and green, the energy building for another blast. The creature opened its maw, a furnace of molten plasma swirling. "Now!" Nebula Man shouted. He surged forward, violet aura blazing, hurling chains of cosmic energy to bind the monster's arms. The ground shook as the behemoth thrashed, but the chains glowed stronger, forged from the heart of collapsing stars. Solar ion streaked upward into the stratosphere, gathering power. His body became a beacon, silver veins glowing, cape whipping like a comet tail. He channeled solar energy until his chest emblem blazed like a miniature sun. Then he dived. Shooting star impact of the comet. Solar ion slammed into the creature's chest with the force of a falling star. The impact cracked through the alien armor, revealing a glimpse of the molten core within. Alien Godzilla bellowed in pain, a sound that shook continents. The wound glowed brighter, unstable, like an exposed reactor. But before Solar Ion could strike again, the monster's claw swatted him from the sky. He smashed into the ground, carving a crater miles wide. "Nebula Man!" Solar Ion gasped, coughing blood but rising. The core's exposed. Nebula Man didn't hesitate. He raised both hands, summoning the full might of his cosmic aura. Stars shimmered around him, galaxies spiraled, and the ground split as he condensed his power into a single, concentrated beam. High voltage the core attack. The beam struck the wound, searing into the monster's chest. Alien Godzilla roared, body convulsing as cosmic light tore into its heart. For the first time, it staggered backward, smoke and fire pouring from its wounds. Solar Ion joined in, unleashing his solar beam alongside Nebula Man's cosmic blast. Two forces, one born of nebulae, one of stars, combined into a torrent of light. The valley lit up like the birth of the sun. Alien Godzilla howled, spines cracking, scales shattering, its body engulfed in light. For a moment, it seemed like the impossible had been achieved. Milky Way the twist. Then the light faded, and Alien Godzilla still stood. Weakened, yes, bleeding molten fire from its chest, but alive. Its core flickered like a dying star, then pulsed stronger, brighter. The wounds they inflicted weren't killing it. They were accelerating its transformation. Nebula Man's aura faltered. No, it's evolving again. Alien Godzilla lifted its head, spines glowing brighter than ever, its roar echoing like the end of the world. Solar Ion clenched his fists, battered but unbroken. Then we don't stop. Not until one of us falls. Side by side, the two cosmic heroes prepared for another charge. The monster, reborn in the fires of their attack, roared back. The war for Earth had only just begun. The fall of light. The battlefield stretched beyond the mountains now. The monster had moved, slow, relentless, unstoppable, down from the Himalayas towards civilization. Every step was an earthquake. Cities hundreds of kilometers away trembled as if caught in the grip of the apocalypse. Alien Godzilla no longer simply radiated destruction, it embodied it. Its crystalline spines pulsed like living reactors, sending waves of radiation across the skies. Storm clouds twisted above, glowing with unnatural light. Milky Way desperation. Solar Ion coughed blood, his body cracked and burned from his earlier strike. His cape was shredded, his armor fractured, silver energy veins flickering weakly. Nebula Man staggered beside him, his violet aura flickering like a dying flame. His cosmic armor was scorched, his glowing eyes dimmer than ever before. "We gave it everything," Nebula Man said hoarsely, "and still it grows stronger." Solar Ion clenched his fists, tried to rise. "We don't stop. We can't stop." But before they could gather themselves, the monster made its move. Dragon the counterattack. Alien Godzilla bent its colossal frame, spines glowing crimson. Its chest pulsed like the heart of supernova. With a roar that shattered mountains, it unleashed its most devastating blast yet. A torrent of alien fire and radiation erupted from its maw, sweeping across the land like the end of days. Entire valleys ignited, rivers boiled into steam, forests turned to ash in seconds. Nebula Man raised his cosmic shield. Solarion countered with a solar barrier, but the blast was too much. Their defenses shattered, and the two heroes were hurled miles across the landscape, crashing through mountainsides like broken meteors. For the first time since their battles began, the world saw its champions fall. Globe showing Europe, Africa, humanity's despair. Across the globe, people watched through trembling screens. Live streams showed Alien Godzilla standing amidst oceans of fire, its roar echoing across continents. Newscasters broke down mid-broadcast. Soldiers dropped their weapons, staring at the monster in hopeless silence. Entire cities began evacuating, but where could humanity run? There was nowhere safe. On the ground, survivors looked skyward, whispering the names of their heroes. Nebula Man, Solarion, but no answer came. Shooting Star, the near end. Solarion pulled himself from the rubble, barely able to stand. His crimson cape was nothing but tatters, his starburst emblem cracked. He looked up at the towering silhouette of Alien Godzilla, glowing brighter than the sun itself. And for the first time in his life, he doubted. Nebula Man emerged, limping, his violet aura flickering weakly. His once proud cosmic energy now sputtered like embers in the wind. "This isn't a fight anymore," he whispered, voice broken. "It's extinction." Alien Godzilla turned toward them, its four blazing eyes locking onto the weakened heroes. With a deafening roar, it began to charge, each step cracking the earth beneath. Solarion staggered forward, lifting his fists even though his body screamed in agony. "If this is the end," he said, "then we make it a warrior's end." Nebula Man nodded, summoning the last fragments of his cosmic energy. Together, high voltage the crushing defeat. They charged, two streaks of light against a mountain of death. Solarion struck first, fists blazing, but the monster caught him mid-flight and hurled him into the sea. The water boiled as his body crashed beneath the waves. Nebula Man followed, unleashing a cosmic storm, violet lightning raining down from the heavens. But Alien Godzilla swatted him from the sky with a tail strike, sending him spiraling into a collapsing city. Skyscrapers crumbled as he fell, dust and flame rising to the heavens. Alien Godzilla roared in triumph. The earth trembled as the monster stood victorious. Milky Way, a spark remains. Beneath the rubble, Nebula Man's eyes flickered open. Weak, bloodied, but not gone. He looked toward the horizon where Solarion's aura still glowed faintly beneath the boiling waves. The world thought its heroes had fallen. The monster thought it had won. But Nebula Man whispered through cracked lips, "Not yet." Because somewhere deep in their hearts, both heroes still carried one truth. They were Earth's last defense. And even if they had to burn themselves out completely, they would rise again. The final battle had yet to come. The last light of Earth. The world was burning. Skies glowed with alien fire, oceans boiled, and mountains lay shattered. At the center of it all stood Alien Godzilla, roaring in triumph, its crystalline spines blazing like an alien sun. But deep beneath the rubble and waves, two sparks still glowed. Milky Way, the rise of the fallen. Solarion dragged himself out of the sea, steam rising from his broken armor. His crimson cape clung in tatters, his veins of silver light flickering faintly. He stared at the towering monster and clenched his fist. Nebula Man pulled himself from the ruins of the city, blood streaming from his brow, his cosmic aura dim but alive. His glowing white eyes burned once more with unyielding fire. They looked at each other across the battlefield. Solarion, this ends here. Nebula Man, for Earth, for everything. And together, they rose. Crossed swords, the final clash. Alien Godzilla sensed their defiance. With a roar that shook the skies, it unleashed its ultimate attack, a beam of cosmic radiation so massive it split the heavens. But this time, the heroes didn't defend. They attacked. Solarion summoned every drop of solar power, his body glowing brighter than the sun itself, a living starburst ready to ignite. Nebula Man opened himself to the endless cosmos, his aura flaring violet and blue, nebulae swirling like galaxies around him. The two heroes launched forward, light and void united, striking straight into the heart of the monster's beam. The world held its breath. Globe showing Europe, Africa, Earth trembles. For a moment, it seemed they would be obliterated. The radiation burned, the energy ripped at their bodies, but they kept going step by step, forcing themselves forward against the tide of destruction. And then they broke through. Solarion struck first, driving his blazing fists into Alien Godzilla's chest, cracking the crystalline core beneath. Nebula Man followed, unleashing the full fury of a collapsing star, a violet storm tearing into the monster's very essence. The monster roared, staggering back, its body fracturing, its spines exploding into shards of alien crystal. Milky Way the sacrifice. But the monster was not finished. With a final roar, Alien Godzilla summoned one last wave of destruction that would consume them all. The heroes looked at each other. No words were needed. Solarion, we do this together. Nebula Man, one last light. They combined their powers, solar fire and cosmic nebula, into a single devastating surge. A fusion of star and void, pure creation against unstoppable destruction. They hurled it into the monster's heart. Shooting star the end of Alien Godzilla. The explosion lit the skies brighter than day. Alien Godzilla screamed as its body shattered, fragments of alien crystal dissolving into stardust. Its colossal frame collapsed, sinking back into the mountains it had emerged from, until nothing remained but scorched earth and silence. The skies cleared. The fire faded. For the first time in weeks, Earth was quiet. Milky Way the hero's legacy. Solarion collapsed to his knees, his aura dim, his chest rising raggedly. Nebula Man fell beside him, exhausted but alive. The world watched through broken cameras, through trembling eyes, as their champion stood. And for the first time, hope roared louder than fear. Crowds across the planet cried out their names. Nebula Man, Solarion. The heroes exchanged a tired smile. They had won. Earth had survived. But as Nebula Man looked to the stars and Solarion to the sun, both knew this was not the last threat to humanity. The universe was vast, the darkness endless. And so long as Earth breathed, they would be ready. Glowing star ending line. In the shadow of extinction, two lights rose. And together, they burned brighter than the end of the world.